children. In our previous lectures, we have been discussing about evolution, how it started, what are the different theories of the evolution, Lamarckism, Darwinism, then what is Hardy-Weinberg's equation. Then we discussed about what are the factors which affects it all. Now today we will be discussing about the main elements of the evolution, or you can say plants and animals, which are the most evolved organism now on the earth, how they evolved in this form. Let's look into this. First we'll start the evolutionary pattern of the plants. Now when we talk about the plants, before animals, plants have evolved, and it is expected that the slimy elements, or you can say the algae, they came into the existence first, and from the algae the development of land plants occur. It is also one of the views that there is a type of a plant called as charophytes, that are land plants. From there the origining the new plants, the other advanced form of the plants have originated. Let's look into it. It is expected that the plants have evolved in early Silurian era, and from there the plants have evolved further. Once the plant has occurred, they have been seen, they were non-vascular plants. That means they didn't have xylem or phloem. They were just a mass of cells coming together. So those mass of cells, and they have a capacity of going for the photosynthesis. Such kind of structure was seen in case of Silurian era, and from there the development of further plants started. Once they came up to the land, the first known plant on the land, we call them as bryophytes. Now these bryophytes, we know they are amphibians of plant kingdom. Amphibians means they need some moist soil to grow. Another one, these bryophytes are non-vascular plants. So they do not have xylem and phloem yet developed. From the bryophyte originated pteridophytes. Now these pteridophytes, they are seedless vascular plants. They are having vascular system, a primitive vascular system of xylem and phloem, but the pteridophytes do not form fruits. They do not form seeds. So they are seedless vascular plants. So from the bryophytes, it is thought that the pteridophytes have originated. From pteridophytes, gymnosperm came into picture. Now gymnosperm, we call them as first seed plants. These gymnosperms do not have flowers, but they do have naked seeds, and they are vascular plants with good vascular, well-developed vascular system present in them, xylem and phloem. And from the gymnosperm, angiosperm came, and among the plant kingdom, angiosperms are considered to be the advanced organisms, the most evolved structures, most evolved organism among the whole plant kingdom. They are flowering plants. They go for fruit formation, they go for seed formation, they go for double fertilization, syngamy, triple fusion. All the complex structures which is related to the development of the plant can be seen in angiosperms. And now the angiosperms are also they are dicotyledons and monocotyledons. So you can think that how much the advancement from the charophytes till angiosperms have happened in the plant kingdom, and still they are evolving. The next category of evolution, we will be working on the evolution of animals. Now when we say animals, they originated around 500 million years ago. Animals, we talk about invertebrates first, and then from invertebrates the vertebrates came into picture. It was thought that a single cell was there, and then cluster of single cells, they came up, which was called as a multicellular organism, a little complex DNA. That was a kind of an early animal development in the evolution process. Now that from that particular kind of structure, the first evolved structures were simple sponges. Sea sponges were the first invertebrates which originated. From there, many other diversions started happening, and ultimately, when we reach the vertebrates, the life started from the sea, and then it moved towards the land area. The first, you can say, the amphibian which was observed from the sea came to the land, were this amphibious fishes, which we call them as lobe fins. Now, before lobe fins, they originated from jawless fishes. Let me make you see the tree. See, it was expected that from a unicellular organism, simple unicellular organisms, other organisms started developing. And when we came down to on this side where the animals have developed, the first known creatures were some kind of jawless fishes. Just you can imagine, these are some jawless fishes which were present in the sea, and from the jawless fishes, such kind of lobe fin fishes. I'll just show the write up where I have written down. Lobe fins, like amphibians, they are the ancestors of modern day frog. Now, these lobe fin fishes were such kind that they can store air in themselves for some time, and they can stay outside the sea for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then again they used to go back to the sea. Plus, their fins were strong enough to drag them on the marshy area, but they cannot go more far away from the water body, but still they can come out of the water body. So, they are called as the first type of amphibians, which are ancestors to the modern day frog. Now, the next type of creatures which were observed by dinosaurs, reptiles. There was an era, Jurassic era, where these types of reptiles, they were dominant. They were present all over the earth. This is Tyrannosaurus rex, which is the biggest dinosaur discovered. And this dinosaur reptiles were dominant at the time of Jurassic era. From it is again a many scientists have different views because of some happening. Meteor might have fallen, reduction of the food, or sudden change in their feeding habits. Dinosaurs, they got extinct, but at that time only there was a kind of a creature which was called as shrews that originated in the same era, ending part of that era. And these shrews, they are the first mammals which appeared at that time. So whichever mammals which we see today, they are successors of such kind of structure, which are shrews. Now, these shrews, if I just put here, dinosaurs in any form, whether they are herbivorous or carnivorous, they were very big and they are voracious eaters. But when we talk about shrews, they are very small, and they had a habit, or we can say that they have an ability to adapt to the changing climate. So they persisted in the environment, they persisted in the nature, and gradually they diverged out to become different types of animals which we see today. So we say that shrews are the ancestors of the mammals which we see today. The next important topic is evolution of man. Now, evolution of man also have different viewpoints, and different scientists have different theories about it. A common kind of theory says that the initial or the first known fossil of the human being found was Dryopithecus. Now, this Dryopithecus was very much similar to the primates of that time, with arms and legs of nearly of the same size, good brain. That was the different factor from others. And when the bony structure or the skull part of the Dryopithecus was observed, was studied in the fossil form, it was seen that the teeth were in a line form. That means they were fruit and leaf eaters. They have not yet started consuming the meat. So this was the first known fossil which was found in South Africa of the human being. So it is expected that from here our evolution has started. But always remember, we human beings, when we study about the evolution, we are the very late comers on the earth. We have been originated just now. Now, originated just now word means 20 to 25 million years ago. 20 to 25 million years ago in evolution is a time which is very early. So we are very recent comers for the evolution. Our first known fossil, Dryopithecus. Now the next second one which was found after, it was Ramapithecus, a little recent one, around 14 to 15 million years ago. They look like man. They were more erect. They started standing erect, and they have a teeth like a modern men, like we had in Caesars, canines, premolars, molars. But I'll not say that they have a perfect jaw like us. But yes, formation of the teeth started evolving, and the body of the human being, instead of walking on the four leg, they started trying to start walking with the two legs. So this is Ramapithecus. Next one came Australopithecus. More recent, Australopithecus was around 3 to 4 million years ago. These fossils were found in Ethiopia and Tanzania. They look like primates, and once the fossils were found, the teeth structure which was studied, till now also they were herbivorous, used to eat food, fruits,